Okay, welcome to part 2 of our transmission scope video. Today we're going to use just 4 channels, and we're going to add some math channels to our capture. This is basically the same as same driving situation as part 1. It's going to be from a standstill up to about 75 miles an hour through all 5 speeds, lockup, overdrive, and basically we're going to look at what you saw on the first illustration that you copied down, that you saw on part 1, is our pressure control solenoids. Now there are 3 of them in the transmission. They are power side switch, they are duty cycle, and they're going to fine tailor the transmission fluid pressure to affect the shift, to work in conjunction with the shift solenoids, shift solenoid A through E, which you're not seeing on this illustration. Basically, I just wanted to keep this one as not as convoluted as the other, so you can get the idea. We're basically looking at 4 signals. We're looking at the duty cycle command to pressure control solenoid A, pressure control solenoid B, and pressure control solenoid C. And we're all going to look at the input speed sensor, because that's a good depiction as to when a shift takes place, because we know that speed is kind of like the crank signal that will go up and down, like if we were driving and we were looking at our tachometer, as opposed to our output speed signal, which is more linear, which is more similar to actual vehicle speed. We will incorporate math channels to get an idea. It will get a little congested, but I will try to explain it the best I can. We see a recording of our road test. It has been done already. We have channel A blue, B red, C green, and yellow. Channel D is our input speed sensor. The black line across the sort of down about 2/3 of the way down the screen is a frequency math channel for our speed. That is a math channel for channel D, yellow, for the speed of the input shaft speed sensor. So that will come, and you will see that rise and you will see that drop as we go through our shift, because that is our input shaft speed. So I did this at a fairly long time base. It looks very thick. I will open up the screen. We'll look at different duty cycles, and we'll see if we can catch a shift take place. I have math channels for the duty cycle on channel A, channel B, and channel C. Also, I'll bring them up as we go along, and we'll just try to make the best of it, because these are shift solenoids, kind of like pressure regulator solenoids. They're gonna kind of fine tune pressure, and as I said, the PCM will control them. They are power side switched, and their duty cycle will change and affect the shift. They are internal to the trans, pretty much on the valve body, and they work with that valve body circuitry. So here we are starting out. We're starting out. This is basically like the original video. We're at the stop sign, and we're going to cruise to about 70 miles an hour. Let's kind of just look in on initially what it looks like. Not such a thick screen. Okay, we see duty cycles and we see speed. Let the scope just buffer. Okay, we see more of on channel B. We see a wider duty cycle, and on channel green C we see a wider duty cycle. On channel B, that is less of a duty cycle. Our speed of our input speed sensor, that is in the tranny, that is about 800 hertz, 800 cycles per second. I don't know how many teeth are on that drum or that rotating part internal to the trans, but nonetheless, we're going to take a look at different situations. Okay, as we can see, duty cycle on A is different than on B, and then more similar to C. I will bring up a math channel. I will bring up our duty cycle A. And let's take a look at that, and that will come up. And let's take a look at that. That is right. Oop, okay. That is right. Okay. Got a little issue here. That is right here. Okay. That duty cycle right now, I'm going to roll it down, is about 50, which makes sense, about 53% duty cycle. So that's that one. Let me look at the duty cycle for B, duty cycle B. We'll bring that up. That is this guy, duty cycle B. which is about, okay, 17 degrees. As you can see, it's a lot less. And let's get those two out of there, and we'll look at duty cycle C. Get rid of duty A and duty B so we don't get so congested. And that is our duty cycle our duty cycle for C. And that is about, what are we looking? Okay, about 55 degrees. And that looks about 55. If I opened it up, it would look kind of like a 50-50 split. We got a lot of sampling on yellow, which has got to go. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so here we go. This is the next frame. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at the duty cycle at our math channel for our input speed sensor, and watch what it does. Loading the buffer takes a little time. You can see our speed going down, maybe ready to take a shift. Okay. That's our speed dropping. Let's see what happens here. Okay, looks like we got some action. Let me clean up this, get rid of all the duties. Okay, so as we can see our screen, okay, no. As we can look at our screen, our lower math channel, our black math channel, that is the frequency of the input shaft, the cycles per second. And you see it drops and then it comes up, typical of we're taking a shift. So right around this spot, let's take a look at our duty cycles, see if we can catch a transformation of duty cycle in our blue, our red, and our green, because they definitely have a profound effect on shift. So right around, let's bring up math channels for the three pressure control solenoids and see what we got. And so let's get this guy. I'm going to kind of clog the screen so we can maybe learn something. All right. Okay. They will appear, I hope. Okay, our duty cycles are here. As we can see, let's take a look at let's get that out of there. Let's look at a section. Okay, there's our duty. So let's look at our duty cycle for blue. That probably is our duty cycle for blue is 23%, which makes sense because it doesn't look very excessive right there. Let's look at our duty cycle for another one. That's 52. That is our duty cycle for green, for red. That makes sense. And then final duty cycle. Let's clear these guys out. I want to get duty cycle for C. Right there. Okay. That is our duty cycle for C, and let's see what that, I'm going to say about 18%, which makes sense. Okay, so let's go back to take the zoom off. We're going through another shift and see what happens. I wonder who that is on the screen. That is duty cycle for C. So math channels are very advantageous. As you can see right here, it's going here right during a shift. You can see the effect of the duty cycle, and I brought the frequency back. Actually, I take the frequency. I'll bring that baby back. You can see there's definitely a correlation between duty cycle and the upshift as you look on the math channel. So they're really, you want to use those to your advantages. That's a pretty radical drop in duty cycle and our input shaft speed to validate a shift. Let's go to another channel to see if we can catch or anything else. Give it time to load. Okay, that is our duty cycle on blue. Looks like about that's our kilohertz. That's a pretty good duty cycle there, and it drops down here. Probably took a shift. Let's go one more screen. Probably could have shot this not as thick at a faster time base. Nonetheless, we can see our duty cycle and the effect it has on the shift right here. This is our speed coming down, and this is our duty cycle dropping also. Let's go into see how it we can see it on the actual channel on the duty cycle on the scope channel. We can see it right here. It's the duty cycle is going down to about right here. That's about 17. So yeah, you can see it on the you can see it on green, and it sort of correlates to the amount of duty cycle that the solenoid is using to control pressure. Anyway, hope you like this part 2. It just gives us an added edge of the PCM's control of the tranny and watching it on the scope. Just bear in mind, don't ever sell your math channels short. Use them to your advantage. If you got to look at one at a time, so be it. But anyway, signing off. Hope things are well, and be uploading this soon. Thanks a lot. Take care.